G'day, thanks for tuning into another watch list brought to you by FTX. If you don't have an FTX account, then there is a link in the description below that will give you 10% off your trading fees. All right, let's have a look at Bitcoin as we always do. Still, crab walking sideways. There's no real momentum here, but if we look at the weekly chart, I could probably hide some of these lines. But basically, it's looking quite bearish where we've had a lower low and a lower high, and now we're just seeing consecutive lower highs building into this level or this range through here, which is a little bit more evident on this daily chart. It's more this range through here. Now, I've mentioned this before, there's a lot of buying pressure in this range from long-term investors, which would be underwater if we go any lower than that, Bitcoin miners, things like that. So I know I've said this before, but I'm watching this level really closely to see how Bitcoin reacts. And for complete clarity, I am buying Bitcoin every time it enters into this range. If it drops lower, that's fine. It just means we're grabbing Bitcoin a little bit cheaper. But at the moment, there isn't really much to talk about. The daily, there's no trend. The 4 hour, I've got a bit of a level through here. It is building down into that level. It just has broken a couple times, which isn't great. But yeah, this is another level that I'll be watching on the lower time frames throughout today and possibly tomorrow. Let's just see how it reacts. It's really hard to pick trades that are trending because it just doesn't exist at the moment. So yeah, not too much there on Bitcoin. I'm just watching this level and on the lower time frames and watching this range on the higher time frames. Uniperp. Now, Uniperp was in the list because it is one of the few that's trending on the lower time frame. So we've got a beautiful trend here on the 4. We've got a higher high and a higher low, higher high, higher low. Now we've got a higher high. We are pulling back into that cradle zone. Now we could have a look at the 2. The 2 could definitely present something, just seeing if the MACD agrees. The MACD does agree. It's a little bit funny through there, so I could definitely understand if you're not that way inclined to take that trade. There was a nice trade there off a level as well. But we have pushed higher, we're pulling back. Let's see if we get a bullish candle off that level. Now, I know we did end yesterday with some selling off. It was quite a drastic sell-off across the board. But yeah, let's just see what today brings. If we do get a nice bullish candle there on the 2 hour, I definitely want to know about it. Now, AVE is the same. So we had a level through there. I can delete that. It's not on the 2 though, it's divergent, but it is, grinding higher on this 4 hour time frame. It does look like it's pulling back into that cradle zone. So I want to know about it. It's just a little bit concerning. The lower we go, the more bearish that MACD looks. So that's one thing to note. Bit of a level through there as well that we could keep an eye on. But yeah, it's just in the list because it is sort of bucking the trend. ENS was on the daily, I believe. Yeah, so ENS really bucking the trend. All right, so we've got a nice, really nice daily trend here. We did see a nice pullback off this level, bullish candle. So well done 29. That did take that. You'd be sitting quite comfortably in profit. Now we do have a level through here now. With the potential for a nice bullish candle off this level. It won't be today. It could potentially be tomorrow morning. So yeah, let's see what that brings. But ENS is looking good. Now we've got a number of tokens with levels. I know we don't really talk about breakout trades, but if you are in the community or you've done the master course, you know what I'm talking about. With Atom in a nice daily downtrend, we did have a level through here on the 1 hour. It did break that with some momentum, which is exactly what we want to see on a breakout trade. Just waiting for pullbacks on this. Probably not back to that level. It's probably too deep, but it is one that's moving. BAT was the same. Beautiful level through there. It did break with some force, so waiting on pullbacks with that. With the pullbacks, I should clarify that we're not just waiting for any pullback off a level. We really want to see a nice trend building into that level, a break, and then a really nice clean pullback, potentially back by a level. Flow is looking good. It was on the higher time frame, so we've got a nice level through here. 1 test, 2 tests, 3 tests. So slowly building into that level. Again, it probably won't set up today, but it is one to keep an eye on for tomorrow and over the weekend. FXS, higher high, higher low. We've got a new high. We're pulling back, so now we can just go down these time frames and look for potential cradle trades. Now we are pulling back into that cradle zone. It's not the cleanest trend out there. It's not the cleanest chart, but it is pulling back on the 12-hour into that cradle zone. So I definitely want to know about it. If we do see some buying, well then I'll switch to the lower time frames and try and catch a breakout. LRC. Switch back to the daily. It was a nice level through there. The 4-hour, yeah, nice level. 1 test, 2 tests, 3 tests. Another one that broke with some force. We're just waiting on a pullback to try and catch the next leg lower if it does happen. Maker on the daily, another one that's really backing the trend. We've got a higher high and a higher low. I get it. It's very wicky. But if we do get a nice clean pullback into that cradle, I'll want to know about it. Let's have a little look lower at the 4. Yeah, the 4's a little bit messy. The 8. No, I mean, it's definitely the 12 and the daily. They're the better charts. And Reef. Let's have a look at the daily to start with. It is moving. I'm just looking for levels. There isn't really any. The 8, the 4. I mean, the 4-hour is pulling back. That's a very, very messy pullback. But we did shoot higher, pulling back into that cradle zone. So, back in the 4, it's probably the 8 looks a little bit better. Yeah, I'll keep it in the list just because it is interacting with the precious cradle zone. And let's stalk the lower time frames on these ones that are back in the cradle. So that's the list that I'll be keeping an eye on. I will do some more scans throughout the day. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to myself or Lou in the community, and we'll be happy to help you out. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.